Welcome to the Fiberworker Speaks. This is a podcast where I talk about knitting, mostly some spinning sometimes other things that are fiber related, just a lot of making stuff. My name is Natalie. Welcome. I think I did a bad job last time. So my name is Natalie. I live in Connecticut with my partner Ian and our dog Ginger. Today is December 30th, 2020, and that's crazy and awesome. Oh man, I'm so excited for tomorrow, even though it's going to be a very different New Year's Eve than normally you spend it with friends, and but it's okay. It's just gonna be Ian and I and Ginger, and we're gonna drink bubbly wine and say goodbye to this terrible year. So I just wanted to jump in and say hi. I wasn't really planning on recording today, but I figured it's Wednesday. I didn't record last week because it was Christmas, and I've just been doing, like last week I was doing a lot of like gift knitting, trying to get stuff done, and it just didn't really seem necessary. And I have some stuff to talk about today. I was trying to think, like, what did I get done? Like, what have I made recently? And some of it is test knit that I can't share, but then there's other stuff that I definitely can't share. So yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to start off with this. This is my Betty and Judy Lodge sweater by Poison Girls. I'm just going to be putting this in a bag for next time I feel Christmassy to pick it up again. But as you can see, I finished the body, and all I have to do now is pick up the stitches around the armhole and knit the sleeves, and I'll be done. And then there will be a button attachment over on the back, and yeah, it'll be super cute. I have three more skeins of this red, which seems like a lot, so I should have some extra yarn. It's always exciting to have extra yarn left over. I'm building up a stash of leftovers, and it's just really nice to have like just a little collection of different colors of yarns that are just there for you when you're inspired to start a project. Like, I usually start projects immediately. I find inspiration and I'm like, I need to make it now, because if I don't make it now, I'm just gonna lose steam on it. And yeah, so just having little bits of yarns in different colors is really nice, because you can just be like, put them together and be like, oh yeah, this will make a great project. So yeah, I'm just gonna put pause on this because there's not really a need for a cute Christmas sweater in January or February. This is a headband. The pattern is called the Salt Marsh headband. It's by Samantha Guerin. And this I started to knit for my niece, so I should probably finish it. Also, I'm pretty much done with it. I just need to bind off and then do the seaming. It's one of those like twisty headbands, so you do a fancy trick with seaming, and then it has this cute little twist to it. And I think this will be really adorable on my niece. She is 5. I think 5 or 6. But yeah, she's petite, and I think this will be a good size. That's kind of, I've been hesitating because she's got a small head, but I don't want to make it too small so that she can't really wear it, but at the same time I don't want it to be too big, because then like wool always stretches, like it stretches. So if I make it a little tight, it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, I think I think I'm done with this and I just need to finish it. But yeah. And this I knit out of yarn that I've had for a while. I dyed it. I have a whole bunch of this color, and it's a really pretty color, but I don't know, at the time I loved it, and then it became, I don't know, I have a weird relationship with color, and it like changes with the seasons, and I didn't like it anymore. So I have all this yarn, but I don't want to use it. But I think it's a really sweet color for a little girl, and it's superwash as well, which is another thing that I'm sort of like going away from. Like I don't really like working with it that much. But this is great for a kid because you can just wash it and not really worry about it. So yeah, that is that. And I have this sock, which is the yarn that I spun from my brother's sheep that I call the Schlossflock, I think. Oh my god. Schlossflock sock is what I call the yarn because it makes a good sock yarn. But oh my gosh, it's so dirty. Yeah, so I knit one sock. And it was a little big, so I ripped it out. And then I started this one, and I'm on the heel, and I kind of put it down. Because once again, it was like gift knitting season, so I had to like do all the gift knitting, and yeah. I should get back to it, because it took me like a day to knit one sock, so I could have a finished pair of socks in 2 days if I just knit them, but I cast out something new that's really exciting, and I just don't really feel like knitting socks right now. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, and that's fine. So these are a work in progress, but I'm not like actively working on them. All right, so my main whip right now is this beauty. This is the Letho Wee cardigan. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it is by Natasja Hornby of Moonstruck Knits, and it's awesome. I have one sleeve done. So the really cool thing about this pattern is that it's worked sideways. So you cast on at the sleeve, it's a brioche cuff, super squishy, and then you've got these really cool welts. This was the first time doing welts, and it's essentially just stockinette, and then you pick up the row, like you pick up a row of stitches that is a certain amount below what you have been working on, and then you essentially do like a 3-needle bind off, and you connect those rows, and it makes this like puckered fabric that resembles piping, and is just really cool. And then there's some slip stitch color work, and there will be a really neat slip stitch design in the back along the spine, which is really cool. So I am knitting this out of Brown Sheep Prairie Spun DK for the main color and the accent color. The main color is Parchment, the accent color is Honeycomb, I believe, and this dark brown is my hand spun. It is a Corriedale 3-ply, and it's nice and rustic, and I think it's a really great accent color in this project. But yeah, so it's worked sideways, and once you get to the armhole, you do this really awesome 2-sided provisional cast on that you start here at the bottom. There's a little hole, but you can just finish that at the end. Yeah, so this little spine of like a twisted stitch is is where the cast on is, and you can you knit like all the way around the armhole and back, and you just go back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, it's really awesome. I've just split for the back, and I'm doing back shaping, and then I'll knit for a point and then do the little detail in the back, and then I'll go back to these stitches in the front that are held and knit the front. But yeah, it's a super cool construction, and the design is just awesome. I've loved her designs for such a long time, especially like her mosaic shawls, like the Mon shawl, and I think there's one called Nyx, and they're all mosaic and just like, oh, just beautiful texture, and yeah, I'm a big fan of her style. So I'm really excited to be knitting this, and I'm really excited to have this cardigan in my wardrobe. I think it's going to be really awesome. Yeah, so that's been my main knit love at the moment. Oh yeah, this is my swatch that I did, and I was essentially just starting on the suggested needles, and then I was going to measure and just compare that, and so that's what I did. And I obviously, well, not obviously, but I did mess up. I've missed one of the welts, so I am glad that I just was like, I'm just gonna restart. And I can frog this and use the yarn later if I need it. But yeah. Yeah, so it turned out that my stitch gauge was tighter than the pattern gauge, so I'm actually knitting a larger size. I'm knitting like the medium size to get the small size. And this version of the pattern, she has two versions. So the Letho, the original one, is more of like a cropped, boxy cardigan, more designed for like women's bodies, and I mean, it's unisex, but it's more of a like a boxy style, kind of like a sort of like a bomber jacket, maybe, kind of. And then the Letho Wee is more fitted to the body and longer. And the sleeves aren't quite as wide. Like the Letho has very like dolman shaped sleeves that are like kind of shaped like this. Not like this cardigan, but like has a really wide armhole is what I'm trying to say. And that one is also beautiful, but I'm doing the Letho Wee. And yeah, I'm already in my brain thinking about a version that I want to maybe make for Ian. But we'll see. I'm gonna knit this one first and see how I feel about it, and kind of be like, do you like this? Would you wear it in a different color and bigger? But yeah, so highly recommend this pattern. You should check it out for sure. Okay, so that is it for knitting. I haven't really done much spinning, but I did do something crazy and totally different from what I normally do, and that is sewing. So I finished two projects, two garments, last week. There was a day. Oh, you know what? It was when I was finishing. I was working on the Betty and Judy Lodge sweater, so I guess it was like New Year's Eve or something like that. It was just before Christmas, and I was like, I don't have anything to wear with this. So I decided to make a skirt, and I already had this fabric. This is a linen fabric, and I already had this pattern. This is the Gypsum skirt by So Liberated, and it's got an elastic waistband and two pockets that are very generously sized, that are inset. And this is just like it was just fun to make. And it came together quickly, because that's how sewing is. It's a lot faster than knitting is, but it's much more structured. You really have to pay attention and just be very present when you're working. You can't just like be chilling on the couch sewing, unless it's like hand stitching or I don't know. But yeah, I was really happy about it. I'll try to, should I put it on? Let me put it on. Alright, so costume change. This is it. I don't know if you can see this. This is it over my, this is it over my pants. But yeah, you get the idea. So it sits right at my waist. My belly button's here. This is my waist, so it's a little below my waist. And pockets are here. Yeah, so I'm pretty glad that I did it. This is like the first garment I had made since I was in school, with like teachers who were guiding me. In my design program for theater, we had to do costume and lighting and like all of the things, even though I was specifically there for sets. So we had a costume construction class, and I made a button-down shirt, and I got an A on the project in the class. But like I was like, for every step of the pattern, I was like, Kathleen, what does this mean? Because, well, one, it was like a simplicity or McCall's pattern, like the ones in the little, like the little, you know what I'm talking about, that you get at Joann's or Michael's with like the tissue paper patterning. I'm gonna sit down. And train of thought. Yeah, so those patterns are, they don't hold your hand, they don't really tell you what, they just, there's a language to them similar to knitting patterns, and you're just supposed to know it. But, you know, of course, just like with knitting patterns, if you don't know something, you just like look it up online or whatever. But this was way back in the day. It was 2008 or 9. And there were smartphones, but I didn't have one. Not everyone had them then. And yeah, like, it's interesting to think about the differences in time. Like, there was YouTube, pretty sure, but it wasn't what it is now. Like, there were probably tutorials, but the quality isn't what they are now. And yeah, so I asked my teacher, because she was there and was very knowledgeable, of course. But yeah, so every step of the way I was like, hey, what do I do here? What does this mean? And yeah, it's not something that I would wear. It's kind of like frumpy, but yeah, this is, I definitely see myself wearing it in like the summer for sure. But yeah, I'm not like a huge skirt wearer, so I figured that with my next pattern I would try making pants. And so that's what I did. Segue. These are, let me put these on, BRB. Okay, I think it's somewhere here. So these are the Pietra pants. Pietra, I think, by Closet Core Patterns. And I made this with a rayon challis fabric that I had, and I originally intended to make a dress with this, but I figured, you know, it's not super practical for me, because I'm saying this now because it's not the summer. I mean, I would wear a nice, cute, flowy little dress in the summer, but so my plan is to also make, I have some leftovers, and to make a cami with this, the Ogden cami, and just have like a faux jumpsuit that I can either wear the matching fabric as like a whole piece, or switch it out with other things. Like I could wear the cami with jeans, or I could wear like another top, like this top, or like a white top or something with this. I think this would be cute in a white top. And I do have some knitting plans for coordinating outfits to go with this. But yeah, I was super impressed with this. It's kind of hard to see the details of like the seaming, but there's like seams here. There's an elastic in the back, and our pockets obviously. And yeah, it's a wide leg. This is the wide leg version, and then there's like a tight leg version that would be better for like a more sturdy fabric. But this is like dress pants fabric. Like I could totally see myself wearing this to like an opening night, where sometimes I just feel a little uncomfortable in skirts and dresses, and I can feel both dressy and comfy, because these are like, these kind of feel like pajama pants, honestly. They're so comfortable. Let me sit down. Yeah. Sorry about all the camera changes. I hope that's not too annoying. Now I'm chilly. But yeah, I'm like super impressed with myself about this. And of course, like, it's like another craft, which requires more materials, and so I ordered some more fabrics, and they're all like denims, so I'm gonna try another pair of pants. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this pattern, or if I'm gonna get, they have like an overall pattern that it can also be like trousers, and there's no waistband in the back, so that would be like an extra challenge to make it a more fitted waist. But like, I really love the thought of being able to customize my own pants with like pockets that are correct and like a waist that is what I want. So I'm excited by the idea of like just getting better at making pants, because even though skirts and dresses are much more like beginner friendly, I just don't know if that's what I want to be filling my wardrobe with. And I mean, of course I'm gonna make some pants, or sorry, make some more dresses, or make some dresses and skirts, because I do want that, but I think as I build my sewing skills, that's what I want to focus on. But yeah, I was like, what did I make? I'm like, oh yeah, clothing. Yeah, it's just a whole new skill level to break into, and yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. But yeah, that kind of rounds up everything I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to sit down and chat because I washed my hair today. I don't do that every day because you shouldn't, and I have curly hair, so you really shouldn't. But I also blow dried it, so it's like got extra volume. And you can't waste that. I'm not going anywhere, so someone's got to see it, and Ian doesn't notice. But yeah, is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh yeah, Happy New Year. Oh man, yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to record again, but I figured why not. I did do some more videos. I did a video kind of like following me along with making the skirt that I will maybe put together as like a separate sort of vlog thing. Did I do anything? I might have done a little bit while I was making the pants, but it can get so exhausting trying to like film while you're working, and I just wanted to focus on the sewing. But yeah, I definitely, I think it's fun, I don't know, sharing my very beginner sewing experience. Very, it's very casual. It's not fancy, my setup, but yeah. And yeah, I think, do I have anything else that I'll share? I don't know. Anyway, stay tuned. Yeah, on that note, subscribe if you're interested in seeing any of that extra content that I talked about. If you would be interested in seeing more of these sit down, what I've been working on, knitting and spinning and sewing podcasts. Like this video if you liked it, because that helps other people see this video. I'm kind of like a little baby in the world of YouTube, so any sort of support you can give, like liking, subscribing, and commenting, will help other people find me, like you. Yeah, so we're about to be in a new year. A lot of people are planning their future makes, and I definitely have been planning them. I don't think I'm gonna be, like, I wrote down some stuff that I wanted to make, but the very structured, like, make 9 is a little more, I just know that my ideas are gonna change, and it's really more of the sort of outcome. Like, I like walking into New Year with an intention, and last year, actually, we'll do a little side tangent. So last year, I was still going to yoga because we could still do that in January of 2020. And there's always a New Year's class that I had done maybe 2 years in a row at the studio that I go to, or had been going to. And there's a part where we set an intention for the year. How do you want to present yourself to the world? Or how do you want to, yeah, how do you want to be in the new year? Like, how, it's not like a resolution or like I'm gonna lose weight or whatever. It's like more of like, it's much more yogic. So what I wanted was to, this is funny, be open to change and accepting of what changes were going to come. And I had something that I was expecting to be the change, and it was just, this year was just like a laugh in my face about that, because so much change happened, and I think I was pretty accepting of this change. I'm not really accepting of the fact, like, I don't quite accept yet that I won't go back to my old job and that I won't work with the people that I've worked with entirely. I think there will be some change for sure, but I hope at least that there will be some return to the way things were. But everyone's going to be so different after this year. But yeah, next year I think I just want, with my crafting at least, to just be more intentional and choose each project with the mindfulness of like how it will work into my wardrobe, or like what I will learn from the project. Like, not everything has to be a learning experience, but I do want to at least push myself to either work from other designers that I haven't worked with, or just if something seems a little complicated or scary, and not just be like, oh, I can't do that, just be like, I want to learn how to do that and do that. So stuff like that. And sewing is definitely on that list. I've never considered myself someone who is good at sewing. I've had a sewing machine, I've made things, but I've always had the mindset that I'm just not good at it, and that's not a mindset that's good, because you can always learn. It's a skill just like knitting, like you just have to practice it. So I do want to work on that for sure. And I also definitely want to work on using stuff that's in my stash, because while I love the aspect of being able to pick from my stash to put things together, I also get a little bit stressed out by it. So yeah, definitely be intentional with things I buy, because it is very nice to custom choose yarns and the colors that you want specifically for a project. Yeah, unless I'm like really ready to make it, I want to make sure that I have the, I don't just buy things because it makes me feel okay. And that was a, you know, that was 2020, so I hope that I can take those things with me into the new year. And yeah, I've been rambling for a while. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave you with that. I really hope you have a wonderful New Year's, and I will see you next time in 2021. Yay! All right, take care, everyone.